no. I accidentally stopped my stream. Um, I don't know what that will have done. It will probably, I'll have two. I'll just export both of them. Anyways, I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Just as, I should have just started it again. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll be right back. And I hit Control Shift L while this is on, so something got fucked up. Anyways, I'll be right back. Okay, well, that's the first time I've done that. And there's actually a Twitch thing. Oh, it thinks it recovered, so I started it again fast enough, I guess. Uh, well, that was unpleasant. I decided these do need to be combined. It's gonna fuck everything up. I don't know why this thing's here. This is dumb. There's an easier way to. Is this attached? Are these attached to their? I've done. You know what? This will be fine. Every time I've combined or I've fucked with like some base code, I find other issues and fix them. So I don't know. I hit Control. So I set up a hotkey, Control Shift L that start. I don't know why I picked L. I can't remember. that starts and stops my stream, and that's what I hit because I was on like autopilot or something. But it also does something in uh in whatchamacallit. I can just undo it. Whatever I did. Oh, I deleted. I guess I guess it deletes the line. That's a good thing to fuck up. All right, so let's combine these. Let's put these all into because this has like a thing. Let's put everything that we have here. We already have a game object name. Work completed. We'll move over. We'll put it here. No, we won't. We'll put it. I cut that. We don't want to cut it just now. We're gonna delete this whole thing. Work completed. Max workers because these are very similar. Copy. And we have a getter setter in here for some reason. And then we can close this guy. I think that was everything. Then we will go. This might not be that bad. We added work completed right here. This is an int. It's not a public int though, it's just an int here. Then we're gonna need is. This is a bool, is being built. And a bool that is, whoa, that is built. And then we have this stupid game object. I don't like this at all. Completed text game object. Completed text game object. Put this down here. And then we need. Look at this. We don't have a way to assign. Weird. Weird. Actually, that is what we wanted there. Max employees. I like to keep these if they're split up like that up there. I like to keep them split up like that up here. Well, we want that there, but there's one other thing we want right here. There we go. Then we're gonna stick this into my old shit thing. We're gonna move this current building public class completely out of here. And that's gonna make everything implode. Then we're gonna find one of these. We're gonna rename this. Oh, I can't do it with it bugged out. I should have renamed it first. Well, it's not the end of the world. We're gonna call this building, and we're gonna call this building. We're gonna go to possible buildings. The fuck is this? We're gonna go rename this to building. And we're gonna go to possible building. Well, this is gone now, of course. And we're gonna go to building. We're gonna call this building. We're gonna have a lot of bugs here, but it's gonna be okay. Then we're gonna go. See, look at this. This is how we were doing it before. We were bringing over the possible buildings, and we were just manually assigning all this shit. Move building to current building list, and we were like moving. See, look, it was dumb. This was dumb. So we're gonna have a bunch of bugs happen right here, but we'll just bug hunt them. It will be easy. And like I said, every time I've done this, it's worked out pretty good. This is because we've been able to find other weird shit. So this one, current build. So we do want some stuff to be called current building actually, and then possible buildings. So there's gonna be two different lists: possible buildings and current buildings of buildings of building. So let's start at the top here and look. Is this where I have these buildings, these possible buildings getting generated? It doesn't look like it. This is world map load, which is like the biggie. That when the world map loads for the first time, it so renaming possible building. I guess that was fine. It does a bunch of shit when the game loads. So we want this one. What the fuck is this? This is because this is like you've selected something and now it's moving over here. So this is, it says this does not contain, county does not contain a definition for current buildings. So let's go to county. This one actually should be called current buildings. And this should, yeah. But this should just be a list of buildings. And current workers is inaccessible due to protection level. That's because it's a getter setter. So this was, what is this? Set next, so this has been wrong for a while. I wonder how we didn't. I wonder how we didn't have errors. Oh, because it wasn't a getter setter on the other one. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of bugs here. Okay, so this is. Let's actually comment this out just in case I need to reference this in the future here. And let's put this should be. Actually, all of this. And then we're just going to add possible building. It should just put that, it should just move that building over to there. Okay, so these are just new buildings, individual buildings, but these are all wrong because we've added some things to them. So this is like this is one of those things that we're going to change into a JSON eventually, and have it just be a a list of the possible build. Every county gets its own buildings that can be built. And I had like there's this down here. All these are commented out because somewhere these ones I got it like all excited and made it like the possibility of like 20 different buildings, maybe 15. We only need for testing 3 is plenty. 2 would have been fine, but 3 is better. So we need to have in here the game object. What is the game object? It's null. So we need to null the game object. That's easy. We can copy this and we can put it here and here. Oh, it's not going to do it while it's bugged. I need the control K, control D thing. Then we need work completed. So it goes game object, name, description, work completed, which is going to be 0. We can just copy this, put it here, and then the next thing on the list is influence cost. I wish this little box wouldn't always cover up this shit. So influence cost, work cost. I don't remember. That's a dumb name because I can't remember what that means. Current employees, which is 0. Max employees, which is 5. Is being built, which is false. I don't know why we started here. And we need a comma. And then we need is being built, which is false. And then we need, if you just, then we need null at the end here. This thing started to make it seem like it was fine. It was not fine. The problem with this being null is we're going to get a different bug. And then can we control? No, it doesn't like. I think this should be tabbed over here. And we'll probably do it like that. All right, let's see what else. What other issues we got here? Clear this console garbage. This is going to be building. Building. It would have done it for me there. This isn't saved. Yeah, these must have been. Is this one also? Building does not contain a definition for max workers. Did we not do that? Max employees. Current employees, max employees. These are lies. Oh, right, we called one employees and we called one workers, which we'll fix that too, because that was dumb in the first place. I like him workers better. I don't know why. We didn't save this. We did not save this. All right, now's gonna be the real bug hunting, and I have a feeling it might be a little brutal. Let's maximize this. Hit play. I didn't notice anything major that we could fix there, but so these are still working. It took out that. I mean, that's working. Let's go to this place. Forest Shack. Uh, guess that's it. I guess we didn't have any issues that we've found so far. We're gonna find issues at some later date, and it's gonna be a nightmare. So back to what we were working on was I don't even remember what caused me to suddenly get all. Was it? It was this. I mean, this is now we've just added. That was it's that all that little. Well, it actually wasn't that much work. I thought about it outside when we add resources to. So currently the buildings don't cost any resources, but when we add the resources, um, we're going to need to have it so if you demolish the building, you get some of the resources back. Okay, so that happens after. So now let's check. Cowlitz, I believe, is the one that we gave him enough stuff. So he should have 2 lists. Yeah, current buildings, he has 1 now. And possible buildings, he has 2. Let's check Tillamook. Tillamook shouldn't have had any influence, had enough influence. Yeah, so that worked. It's building that building, which is, well, it actually built the building without any building going on, which is not what we want. So down here, moves the building to the current building list. Where I'm gonna kind of like break this down here so that my brain understands what's going on later. Removes the cost of the building. So we're gonna have to go faction dot influence negative. Oh, we got to do this first though, because that thing's fucking gone. We'll do this first. Once again, well, this is gonna be. Come on. This needs to go up here. And we have the bankers supposed to do that shit, but that's just for the player, I guess. I knew there was a simpler way to do it, but I was just like, let Visual Studio do the work for me, and I have to think. All right, removes the cost from the building, moves the building to the current building list, but it needs to be set to. And you know what we could do? Let's do this at the top of this. Are we gonna be doing a lot of that? Not really. I was thinking, should we break this down into smaller, into like a current buildings equals this. Uh, current buildings dot okay, we're gonna have to put this up here too. I'm listening to some of the yeahs, and man, they're pretty good. They're a good band. Okay, so it's gonna set that to true. It's gonna move that thing over there. We gotta set it before, because we don't know what order this is gonna be in when we add it to here. There might already be something being built, so this needs to be set before it is moved. So we because we don't know which build current building it is going to be. Let's put this down a little bit. So there's another issue that we gotta check, and that is how many people do they assign to do the work of the building the building. So you know what I mean, like is like there's so currently like on that panel I was just clicking, you can have like between 1 and 5 people working on the building. So we need to have it assign people to the building depending on its population in that county. The thing is, some of these other, like I'm calling them independents right now. These independents are going to only have like 3 people in them, so we can't say like, oh, just do the max every time. We don't want to do that. We want to say like, take half the people you have and assign them to the workers. So let's do that. Let's say, um, so we want to take half of the population, the counties factions dot owned I dot. Do we have population in here? Then we're going to have to go through the list and assign each person, which isn't the end of the world right now. We just want to get this shit working. Divided by 2. We're going to need a variable for this. We're going to need, this is going to, like I said, this is going to be a clusterfuck. We're going to need an int number of workers, and then number of workers equals county population divided by 2, but we want to floor it or whatever. I think it's called math floor. We don't want, because it's an int. Actually, it might automatically do that. We don't give a shit about the remainder. We just want it to if we want it to round down, and I can't remember. Oh, I gotta log in here. I can't remember how. Oh, it remembered me, huh? I was deploying AnyDesk at my work, and I asked it. It did not know how to do that. In C sharp, I am, and I did. So this is back to the C sharp. Doing the C sharp tutorials. I did the tutorial that talks about this, but I can't remember how to do it. And so that's why it's like I gotta keep doing it multiple times, like hundreds of times, for it to finally stick in my brain. I am dividing an int by 2. I want it to round down every time. I don't think it even matters. Math floor though. I don't give a shit. I just want it to always round down. What happens if I don't use that? In this example, if you want to make sure that the division is performed on a floating point numbers, and then you can use the math floor as in this example, we use the integer division, which automatically truncates the decimal and rounds down. Okay, so we don't even need it. We don't give a fuck. The total population of the county by 2, and because it is an int, it always rounds down. And then we need an if statement in here. If numbers of workers is greater than or equal to okay, so here's another issue. Let's say we're not doing the food shack, the garden shack, and this is hard coded in with a 2, we're gonna have to have duplicate fucking. We're gonna have to have duplicate fucking code for all this. So there's gonna be something we're gonna have to do. This is slightly different when we add the next. What the fuck's your problem? When we add the next thing here, if the number of workers is greater than and equal to greater than or equal to the max workers. Now, if it's just greater than the max workers, then so we're saying, like, let's say we have 20 people that live there and we divide it by 2, we have 10, but the max workers is only 5. We need to have number of workers. Why is this thing having a cow? No, I haven't heard anybody say that in a long time. Having a cow. All right. So now we have the number of workers that are going to work on this building, and now we need to assign those workers. See, I told you this is going to be such a clusterfuck. We're going to need to break this stuff into smaller methods and then, like, pass in things. Unnecessary assignment of value to number of workers. All of my code is trash. And we still have to deal with this, which is if it's already been built. Because currently it's gonna be, whoops. Currently it's gonna try to build this every day. And we need to say, like, look, it's already being built. But we need to go through those things being built and try it. Divide the total by 2. That's kind of a dumb comment, but we'll leave it there. So the possible buildings 2 has max workers. So let's say we're at 5 now. Now we need to go through and assign the population. So this is going to be another for loop right here. For county, what are we? County's faction owns population. This is I. No, wait, I'm all over the place here. We're going to fix this though. And then we're going to go for each one of these, we're going to debug log. I'm just putting this in here because I suddenly got scared. I got scared. We're adding a lot of shit in here. No, we're already in here. This needs to be county population. Which it doesn't know what that is. And we're going to have another issue here. This county faction's own needs to be this thing. This I needs to be this I. So we're going to have to rename. We can't call it I. It needs to be whatever. I don't want to call it county because I have something else name that I use all the time. I mean, we can just use a different letter. I don't like using different. I don't like any. We could use X. I'm so used to this being I for int, I suppose. We could just say X, whatever. But this is going to be. Yeah, that's going to be X, but this would be I. Yeah, see, this is going to get so confusing. I think I have to do this. This is inside here, but this one, we need to be using this one up here, right? Let me think my brain through this. I don't think X is a good variable, but yeah, this is right. This should be I. This should be X. Jesus fuck. Um, we'll just put a debug log here to kind of make sure we're on the right path. What are you suggesting? The fuck out of here. We should break these all into separate methods. This is gonna be nasty. This is gonna be very fucking nasty. Should we get it? We should get a list of names. What song am I listening to? I know you guys can't hear it. Hot, hot heat, huh? I don't think I ever listened to this band. They're very like San Diego. They're very San Diego. I was trying to think of a year. Oh, they're Canadian. 1999. Hmm. All right. So we didn't get any bugs, and it seems to be working. We got the names of these things. We don't have two. We don't have two things to be checking there. All right, we don't need this debug log anymore. What we do need is an if statement. If is leader equal to false, then we're going to. But wait, This would be number of workers. We only need to do it up to the number of workers. That's why we were getting all of this shit. And it should, we should never max out. And we're not going to use the. So if there's two, we'll only get one. And if there's three, we'll only get one. And we just don't want it to be the faction leader. I suppose we should also say is not a hero. At this point, we don't have to deal with that. It's going to be causing problems long term. All right. Uh, then we want to. How did we assign these workers in the other one? Are they assigned to the? No, we're just all we did is we changed the work. We didn't actually assign the workers to working, which is kind of fucking stupid now that I think about it. We should probably have a list of workers assigned. Jesus Christ, the building thing was a lot more fucked up than I thought. How would we even know currently? I don't think we do. I'm talking to myself, obviously. Um, oh, it makes the leader do it too, which I guess is fine. Look at this top one's fucked up though. I wonder why the top one's fucked up. Scavenging. Don't lie to me. Scavenging. Idle. I couldn't remember which one of this. What idle? I don't want to match the whole thing here. Set next day job. This should be when you check enough unemployed. Okay. I wonder why that one is fucked up. I mean, it's not a huge deal right now, but I'm just curious if I could see real quick what. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Wait. Did the building thing even work? I got sidetracked by the. I also just think I saw some other issue. First off, nope. We want to build. See, this thing's open. Okay, it should have closed. I can't tell if it closed. It does not close. It's supposed to. I thought we fixed this. We got a number of bugs here. This is going to be. Uh, are we getting any? No. Uh, we need to. That's gonna. And then, so that was the first bug that I noticed. And but it's that also. So if we build this, because that thing isn't closing. Whoops. Because that thing isn't closing. This isn't updating. If we close it and reopen, it would update. And that's what it's supposed to do. This isn't supposed to be open. So that will solve that other bug. But then this scavenging, the first scavenging is off. So let's put that in here. I need to keep, I always like to keep track of every bug that I see immediately. Uh, First person generate, or the first person in the list. That's a note for me, just because all right. I always bitch and moan when I stream about how fucking buggy all these games are that I play. I play a lot of indie games, and a lot of them are fucking incredibly buggy. So, I'm not gonna let that happen to me. I hope. I hope that that's the goal is not to have a buggy piece of shit. Okay, so what the fuck were we doing when I got sidetracked by noticing those bugs? Oh, we were looking at. So there is no list of people working on it on a population, I don't think. I'm pretty positive there is no list of the people working on the building. It's just all it does is change this. Oh, this one it didn't do it. It doesn't always do it. Weird. This song is really familiar. Like whatever this, the Reconnoiters. Yeah, there's like bringing back some memories from the good old days, the salad days, as I call them. Okay, what the fuck? So I was just gonna make this. Whoops. I was gonna make that should stay open. Let's build whatever this is, a forest shack, 5 people. I don't think there's anything attached to this at all. This is just like very limited. Um, yeah, it doesn't have much on here. Oh, there's a building text? Why can't we see it? What happened there? I thought we had done that, but then I was like, I guess we didn't. Oh, it's not talking about Bill. It's the name of it is the Jesus Christ. What a terrible, terrible fucking, what a terrible name for this thing. This should be building title text or some shit. Why aren't you letting me? Look at this thing. This thing has like some other text thing just sitting down here. Oh yeah, that was my test text. All right, let's make sure that this is on our list too. This is not we gotta go to county improvements. Yeah, so it's already on the list that it says it's under construction. That's not the problem we were looking at though. We were trying to see if there was a list, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, we can just look at the buildings. The buildings would have a list in here of the people working on it. And do we need that? Probably at some point. Right now we don't. We're probably going to run into that where we'll want to know who's working on the building from the building's point of view. Currently, it's very odd the way we're doing it. We're just doing it by like names and stuff, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So let's go back to what the fuck we were doing. With faction AI. How did we do the other one? UI building checker. See, we actually have check enough unemployed already. Like we should try to combine this. There's a lot of duplicate code that I have a feeling. Um, yeah, I'm not even gonna look at this because I think it's probably shitty ass code. Shitty ass code. Look at this one. I have the instance down here too. Shitty ass code. All right, save that shitty ass code. Actually, I do need to look at that. We don't need to look at this. So how does that apply? How are we applying this thing? I think when we actually hit a confirm button, building confirm button. Is that what we're just looking at? We invoke building confirmed. Oh. um, there we're unsubscribing from it, but what the fuck do we do with it? Oh, well, we could look right here. Build county improvement. Okay, it's this is in a weird spot, but well, this should not be here either. County improvements, we'll put that under county improvements. That shouldn't be in that script. Uh, move the actual building. No, what is this shit called? This is called set next day job and easy one. Move. Yeah, this should just be its own script. Like that should be pretty. And you know what we also could do? So let's think about this. This is going to be, I think this is identical. I think this is identical code as to what we're doing right now. Let's look what we're doing right now. So besides the number of workers, Yeah, besides the number of workers and the building that we're building, because we're as the player, we're selecting that. And this would be it's selecting itself. The actual building of moving these things and shit like that is identical code. And same with removing the cost of the building. The banker should probably handle that, which it currently does for the player. Yeah, this is a bunch of identical code, and I don't think we need it to be identical. We need some of it, but we don't need all of it. So maybe that's what we should do. Sorry, I'm shaking my head because I'm like dancing along while I'm sitting here to this music. Another Yeah Yeah song that's really good. But that's not what I'm clicking down here for. So if we move, let's think about this. I mean, as we go, we want to improve our code. Definitely don't want that shit in world map load, which is currently called scene load. It used to be called the controller. I mean, it would pull out like a ton of this stuff. Well, not a ton of it. A few things would disappear out of there. So let's say we assign we have a script in the factions prefab called build something. Then we're going to also need a game object that's not a prefab unless we have multiplayer. But right now, we could duplicate this thing. The fuck out of here. And we could do this. We could say, no, not there. We could call this multiplayer so far off that it's player factions. And we'll just set like we'll put a game object in here that will eventually be a prefab. Create empty, and we'll call this player 1. And this will be we'll set this as a prefab eventually 100 years down the road when we're doing multiplayer. But right now, then we can put the build stuff on, and we can attach the faction to this. This is going to be generated based on. Man, this is gonna be a lot of work. But the whole game is gonna a lot of work. So fuck it. Who gives a shit? But let's move this over. I'm gonna take a quick break, but then let's move over the. I wanted to check something. Move over the building thing out of world map load, and we'll put it in. We'll put it a build thing on the prefabs, so it will be hitting. It will have an instance of each build. The only problem is that it's when we have 500 factions, they're going to be 500 instances of this building thing floating around. But once again, we can stagger out the time. Optimizing this motherfucker is going to be difficult. But as time passes, the factions should get less. It's just at the beginning we're going to have a lot of factions. And we also can have like the factions like just do nothing occasionally. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's your turn to do nothing. I also have an idea where, so instead of the factions always responding to what the player doing, like if the player builds an army, there's factions respond. We could also have it, instead of it checking once a day, we could say, hey, or once an hour, let's say, we can have it say check between 1 and 2 hours. We'll do we'll like randomly have it check between, we'll do a random number between 1 and 120. And then we'll have it check that random number. So it'll be like the player won't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter what the fuck I'm saying. I'm going to go take a quick break. I'm not going to accidentally stop streaming again. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. I just had another thought while I was out smoking. Maybe we want this build thing on each county, and it triggers. Turn off my thing and start my music that I know you guys can't hear it. I wish that you could. If we put it on each county, let's look at our current script here. The AI would go down through the list and it would check and it would. Let's put it on each faction for now. Yeah, let's put it on each faction. How are we doing? Let me look at something. How are we doing? I think we changed these to game objects. Currently selected county population. Currently right-clicked county. Currently selected county is a game object. Oh, but it's also, it doesn't matter. It's a game object. So we could put it on the county, then we just say get component. Let's put it on the county, actually. So these are not going to be prefabs because these need to have a bunch of manual shit done to them every time. So let's start a new script. This is not going to be a UI script. It's going to be a normal script, and we're going to call it build improvements. Improvements. Because they're not all buildings. Right now they are, but we'll have fortifications and infrastructure and shit like that. And then I think I can just select these guys and drag whatever the fuck that means. Build improvements. Oh yeah, that doesn't work. Maybe we can do it this way. Okay, that worked. So then we're gonna, what is this thing's problem? Is this it's just some fucked up Unity thing. It happens. Then we're gonna adjust. We're gonna make this one script work for every county. Does the county know which buildings it has? That's a good question here. We're just gonna ignore that. It'll probably go away, or something will implode. Does the county know which buildings it has? It does under county info. I mean, obviously, we were looking at that earlier. Okay, so let's think about this as the player first. So yeah, let's go through it as the player. This is a major rewrite we're doing. No, I guess since we're doing the AI, we'll have to put in our little list here. Not under camera. Make the player county improvements. Because I don't think we're gonna get that to the. We're definitely not getting it. We got 50 minutes. Play the player. Make the player county improvements. Use the build improvements script on each county. All right. So this will be something we'll do tomorrow, hopefully. Depends how much of a clusterfuck I've just invited to myself. All right. So how is this going to work? When we go back to this AI thing, AI building buildings. We need to figure out a less air-prone way to do this, because knowing which building is which in the list is stupid as shit. Yes. So first off, the first thing we're checking is we're checking to see if they have enough money, and if they do, they're building. Or sorry, we're checking. We're going through. All right. The first thing we're checking to see is there enough food? Is there enough food? Um, is there enough food? So it checks to make sure there's enough food, and it's going through this whole thing. And if there is not enough food, there is, whoops, probably need. All right. I love Kate Bush, but I don't want to listen to her right now. And it just switched to her. I know you guys can't hear it. Like I said, I would love to, but Twitch complains so much about that shit. Uh, okay, so the first thing we're checking is if there's enough food, and then if there is not enough food, it's going through and it's saying, hey, um, is there. What is this? This is Jane's Addiction? Man, Oh, Porno for Pyros. It's a version of Jane's Addiction. I haven't listened to any Jane's. I used to love Jane's Addiction for a while. Let's put full album. There was one Jane's Addiction album. I know. Once again, I know you guys can't. Ritual de la Habitual was the. It was so many years ago. I really wish that Twitch wasn't so. Okay, so if it passes this, this is when the building actually starts. So that's when we're going to call this building improvement. We're going to get component. We're just going to call that right now. That's all. We're going to just call this thing. And we'll cut all of these things out of here. That way this faction AI thing isn't just filled with fucking. We need to tell it which building it's building, though. So we'll do this. Probably need public void build garden shack. This is a terrible. We're like hard coding this shit in here like a bunch of fucking morons. We're gonna call this build building, and then we're gonna have an int called building being passed. See, like this is why I was thinking like maybe an enum, so it's easier, so we can use it. We can tell whatever. Uh, we could put a building being passed. Oh, that's the way to do it. Is we pass in a building of what it's being built. That's the way to do it, and now we'll see all these things freaking out. It wants to know what's going on. Uh, it also looks like it wants a faction. We're also going to need to know which faction is building this, so we can pass in a faction. And we can pass in a building that it's being built. And where the fuck is my AI thing? I've opened up so many things. Like all text is open. We don't need that shit. And then we go to faction AI, and it's gonna go. And then we're gonna put in this faction, and we're gonna pass in this building. And I'm gonna put this. This is kind of long. I'm gonna go like this. So it's for this faction and this building is being I mean Switch might whatever. We'll get to that. We're like slowly fixing things. And it's gonna be saying we can actually change this to building is being built by come on. Fucking typos. Okay. So now we've passed in this thing. This just needs to be building. You're not gonna fix that offer. You're not gonna offer it. All right. How about now? Not gonna offer it. Oh, it's checking against the population of the county that it's currently in, but that's not a problem. We can actually go right up here and we can just put number of workers, and we can do a county equals get component county. We need another county. County is not a unity county info dot county. That sure is though. Number of workers equals count. So because this is attached to the thing, there we go. It's doing us healthy, doing us right. It's not being very smart though. And then we can use this for other whatever building we want to be building. The issue with this is it's not going to use the leader, which I guess this will make it so the leader is not used for building shit. I don't know. We don't need this in here anymore. Let's just hit play and see what happens. Just hit play and see what happens. Nothing has happened. Okay. Build buildings. Wait. What are we doing here? Oh, look, we don't need this to be X anymore. This can be I. Where is this? This is. Didn't we call this one build buildings as well? Build building. Um, check for building buildings. I don't know why I get a kick out of shit like that. Uh, this can be I though, so let's rename this to I. So I'm not later. I'm not like, what the fuck is this thing? And then let's look at this again. Let's run it again and see what happens here. There's something. There's something. We just fucked something up, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal to fix. Uh, I kind of feel like this needs to be like something else. No, it doesn't. I was going to say it needs to be an instance. It doesn't need to be an instance. I already have an instance. Let's double check to make sure these all have uh, building and build improvements. That'd be a classic thing if. And I want to check, make sure this doesn't. All right. Possible buildings 3. I think this is actually the issue it's having because we already fixed that issue. Let's double. We haven't messed with this county's faction owned thing. We could also move the counties underneath the faction if we wanted, but we could easily check this if this is the issue. Uh, Because now it will bug out on that line. I guess it could be looking at for faction influence, but we haven't. I think it's this, because it's off in the line after. But we will know in 2 seconds here. All right, 10 seconds. All right, 40 seconds. Did it get to the... Oh. Garden Shack is being built by Faction 1. Influence cost is 50. Not enough influence to build some shit. And then it's like it gets through them all, then it croaks. Because, oh, I know why. Because we no longer have this. But why is it checking it again? Because 2 is no longer here. It's gone. Because we deleted it. So it's going through, it goes through, I don't remember putting this influence cost in here. Oh, that was the thing I just put in. I don't remember doing this thing I just put in like 2 seconds ago. It's weird. No, I do remember it. So why is it running it twice? Let's check the timekeeper. You know what's weird about this is it never even gets to this thing. It's invoking, well, I guess that makes sense. It's invoking this first. Let's put this up here. Well, it never even got, huh. It never even finished. This doesn't have anything on it yet. Faction AI, is it, did I stick a faction AI somewhere on accident? Look at this collider being down here. What the fuck is this collider being down here for? Just making sure there's no faction AI on any of these. When we hit play here again. Do I have some weird faction AI like stuck somewhere else? Look at this. What the fuck happened here? Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I duplicated that thing instead of making a new one. Here we go. There we go. That was dumb as shit. But it makes sense. I duplicated that. So it was going through every faction twice. Garden Shack is being built by Faction 1. And these other guys don't have enough influence. I don't like that debug log, how that's written. I'm so fucking anal about shit. It's probably a good thing to be anal though, as a programmer. Is faction one is building. Okay, so this actually that was super. Well, we haven't applied any of the people to it. Do we need to? We do because we need to have them do their work. How are we? Well, we'll deal with that in a second. Let's do a couple of different things here. Let's go up to this thing and let's take a look at these factions. And we have 6 different factions. So let's say like faction 0 is the player. We gave this guy 1,000 influence. Let's give this guy like 500 food, and we'll give him 500 influence. He shouldn't do anything then. Let's give this guy 500 influence and 100 food. Did I say it was 100 or 50? We'll give him 50 food. And, we'll just put this guy will have 750 influence and we'll give him whatever, 750 food. And then we'll see what happens. We just wanted to have some variables changed in there. Oh, you see that? A bunch of shit just went down. Oh. That is a Unity bug there. If you have something selected, it gets fucking wonk. So you can unselect something in the hierarchy. Okay, so faction 1 is building a garden shack. Faction 2 says there's enough food already. They're building a garden shack, and this guy thinks there's enough food. Not enough influence to build the garden shack or some shit. And that's the guy who has 0. There is enough food. We should probably, in this debug log, and we're going to comment this shit out later, but right now we need things to kind of... not enough faction. We'll go faction. Faction. So, like this big thing that says faction name and color, that was kind of like a... that thing was an idea that I had to break this into 2 separate things, but I don't know if I like. In fact, I do not like it. It's dumb. Let's change this to the $ thing, and like with the squigs and shit. I think I actually need to put that on the other side. I can never remember this. So ones that are like complicated, not complicated, but look how long this shit is. I've stopped doing this thing where I call that name though. I'm surprised that that's in there. Name's a built-in one, Has Um, oh God, what have I done? All right, that'll give us a little better information if we do need, well, like I said, we can comment that shit out. So we should be able to tell a little easier about what is going on. And that shouldn't even say is building buildings. It should say it's checking. There's also like typos and stuff in there. So let's fix that real quick. Um, to build buildings. All right. So that works to a point. We need to check this. So we need to check if. So how are we going to do this? We need like a for loop up in here. Because what will happen, I guess we could just. Well, what's going to happen that we're going to get that same bug where it's going to be like, hey, this building's gone. It's not here anymore because we already built it. So let me think about this. We could say it's going to go through the first one. And so let's say that one of them already has a garden shack built. They're going to want to build another one if they don't have enough food. If is not equal to null, then do this stuff. If this is equal to, so there's currently only one, but one county. But if this county is equal, if this is equal to null, that's not going to work either if we have more buildings. We're going to have to figure out a better way to do this. Well, it'll work for right now and for 6 seconds until we add a fourth building because we remove that one and suddenly 2 is. Yeah, we're going to have to figure out a better way to do this. We're going to have like, I don't know. That was me. I don't know. And then the other problem we're going to have here is assigning the workers. If the county law is factually false, then we need to go through. And this actually is kind of this is going to be kind of a dumb way to. This is the dumb way we were doing it before. We actually need that alt text thing. Well, we need county population. We can probably guess current activity. It's going to set the next activity. It's going to set the next activity. Next activity is going to equal all text dot. Is this an instance? I assume it is not an instance. Jobs. Oh, because it's just a public class. Of course, jobs is what we want. Building. How the fuck we're gonna look at this is gonna be kind of weird to see if this is working. And I think that's all we need to do, actually, is we just set them to building. It doesn't actually matter what they're doing currently. Like, it's not, they're not, oh, are they assigned to the building? I don't feel like they are, but how would it know to check when we do the... What is this dumb shit? What is this dumb shit? Uh, how does it currently? That's under. Is the timekeeper control that? I know the time workday is over at 5 p.m. So this actually throws another question in. We don't have a 9 a.m. check. It's only at midnight. Do they roll over to their next thing? So we're gonna have all sorts of things we're gonna have to be building here. Um, what is this doing though? Workday over invokes, but it doesn't. I don't think we have work. Workday for population. Current activity. If the current activity equals building, the current building work completed is +1. This is having every population working on that building set that building is built. So it's repeating the setting to true a bunch of times. This is inefficient code. Some of the population will be working on different buildings too. Current building. What is this? Oh, do we have it assigned? Oh, we do. What this person's currently building that day. We do have it assigned. Okay, well, we better do that then in the build improvements. Wait, do we have 2 eyes in here as well? No. Um, in work, do we have it checking every province or county, or is it just going through? In work for all of the work population, go through all the counties and have people building, add their work to the build. So we already wrote some of this like ahead of time. Once again, I feel like if there's 500 counties and each one has 10 people, then we're up to 5,000 things running right then. So we're gonna. Um, I didn't really put in any debug logs here. So the first day there nothing gets built, I guess. No, it should have at 5 o'clock. Oh yeah, because nothing was assigned to the next activity. Go through all the counties and have people building. What's its problem? Oh. Hour 0. So this is it. Oh, this is time in real life, not time in game. It was at 5 o'clock. Workday over for population. So where is it getting this list from? Day start is a different thing. We should that's at 0. It should have moved everybody over to whatever their next day activity is. Workday over for population. Where is work attached? I think it's attached to this. It is not attached to this. It's attached to the clock. How did this ever work? County population dictionary. No, that's right. It's supposed to go through everything. What the fuck killed this thing? Man, this album's bringing back some memories. This Jane's Addiction thing. Which one did I? Oh, I already forgot the name of it. Um, Ritual to habitual. Habitual? De lo habitual. Heroin junkies. Work completed. I have an idea of what's going on here. Work completed is in here. Work, where are you? Current building. We just assigned that to some of them. I mean, it should have worked. Is there a way we can look at that? Let's see here. If we go to faction, county population. Oh, good God. I was reading this article about how, like, Elon Musk has, 90%, not, it wasn't 90%. A large quantity of his followers, like in the millions, are bots or fake accounts. And I was wondering how they manipulate that, not manipulate it, how do they even look at that data because there's so much of it? What happened here? I want to go to this, and I want to go to not element 1 because that's the leader. And I want to look at current building is what's your text, buddy? Thomas is faction 1. Next is building. So it got the oh wait, next building? There's something called next building and there's something called current building. Well, that's not confusing. Might have needed to look at that. Okay, this should be next building. So yeah, I was totally like, if they have millions of records, so right, they scraped Twitter, X or whatever it's called, and they got millions of, because he supposedly has 100 million followers or something, and they have all this data. Like must have to import all that data into a database, and then each time they run like a query for it, it must take an eternity to go through all that, and then it spits out like, yes, there's 10 of these are only have 1 day of, only been around for 1 day. That must be like one of the slowest. Like, I wonder how, like, in what, man, I know that we're, Amazon and shit like that have millions of records. When you go to a website, and you type in your fucking username, it's got to go through millions of records to find the person. But, it's not, it's not really going through all a million. There's different ways for it to do it, but it still seems like that would be a very laborious process. Uh, to do that reporting just on that, like, cause you get, and then some poor son of a bitch has got to. Here's where we need to be. I think this needs to be next building, and then in the beginning it kicks over and it does its thing at the beginning of the day. I think that's what we're supposed to be seeing here. Because I don't think we currently, I don't think you can queue up multiple buildings, but it also could be, um, it could be a lot of things. Yeah, anyways, I was very curious. Like, so someone downloaded all that data. They scraped all that data from Twitter, and then they're really going to have. So the first day at 5, nothing really happens, which now I don't like. I don't like that at all. We got to rethink that. So this 5 o'clock, it isn't that nothing happened. We just didn't get any bugs. It's not going to tell us that anything happened, I suppose. Next building is none. Who we on here? Faction 1 should have. It's kind of hard to read this shit. Current building. But then is it going to croak out after a day? Oh, so it keeps this for the next day. That makes sense. Let's speed this shit up though. Okay, and there's the bug I was expecting. Because eventually it's a different spot. Oh, because it's trying to set this, and there is no game object. Oh, look at this. This is that stupid thing that I was talking about. All right, I'm gonna call it a day, but this shouldn't be hard to fix. We'll just set it so like it will go completed on its own. We'll have it do it on its own. We'll have it think it through. Uh, to work with AI factions as well, so which don't have a UI, NUI, AUI. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. Thank you guys for joining me. I think we're on the right track here. This wasn't nearly as clusterfucky as I thought. The thing is, all we've really done here was set up, like, this is good, but this checking, and like saying, hey, this number is this, we're gonna have to do it a different way. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We could do a dictionary by name. I don't know. We'll have to think. I'll have to think that through. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to excuse me, think that through. But for today, I'm done. Thank you for joining me. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, most likely, unless I decide not to. Just how it is. All right. Bye.